Good morning, everyone. This is Makram El-Amin with Makram's Motivational Monday, and it's a pleasure for me to come to you today from my home here in Minneapolis and share some ideas and thoughts with you. It's been several weeks since I've actually put together a video for the motivation. I've been working on our blogging skills and our writing and taking our ideas from our head and putting them in print, which is a process that we're trying to always improve. And I want to first of all thank you who follow us on Facebook or social media and have joined our email list via our website and receive the motivations on a weekly basis and give us some feedback. You reply, you give us real-time feedback and also some critique at times and some suggestions about ideas or content, and this is all very, very helpful to our own personal progress and development that we're doing in this space. So I want to just say thank you sincerely for your feedback. It's been a tremendous help to the work that we're doing. Today, just for a few moments, I want to talk to you about a concept that we come to know as the law of three or the rule of three. But today, I want to present it as the power of three. I think it's a very powerful concept, the power of three. And why three? Through psychology and the study of the human mind, it is seen that the number three is easy for us to remember and to comprehend and to keep present in our minds, even though we're inundated with a lot of different ideas, a lot of different messages throughout our day. If we focus down and boil down to three main ideas, that we can keep those in the forefront of our thinking and our consciousness and therefore benefit from those ideas. So the power of three. There's also a rhythm that comes with three. Three blind mice, the Three Stooges, the Three Little Pigs, whatever. These are all stories that we remember from our childhood or even previously, because these ideas of threes and the rhythm and how it was captured in our mind keeps it in our memory even years and sometimes decades after we first were introduced to something. So the power of three, I think, comes through in children's stories and characters, but also it can be used as a tool for self-improvement. I come from a faith tradition. One of our mantras was words make people. Words make people. And we were taught that word is anything that sends an image to your mind or a message to your mind. It could be the printed word. It could be something that you see on the television screen or a movie screen or in social media, I guess today, and any other medium that is communicating with us, that these come by way of words. They form words, and that's how we comprehend, and that's how we take them into us as words. And to that end, we should be very conscious and aware of what we allow to come into our minds, because it will affect what comes out of ourselves as well. So this words make people, very, very powerful concept, and don't underestimate words in your lives. But for this purpose, we wanted to share a practice that we do right now, and we are challenging you to do the same. We select three words, three ideas, three attributes, three qualities, however you want to frame them, that we want to either be because we're not them, or be more of them because we want to see some improvement in them. So we select these various qualities. I mean, there are millions of qualities that we can choose from. But let's say, for the sake of conversation today, it's patience. And you want to be more patient than what you have been in your life. You want to be more, being able to let things come naturally versus trying to force the issue all the time. You want to be, again, just be patient, allow things to come at a rhythm that naturally and organically allows you to accept them, to move upon them, and to access them in a better way versus rushing and being very hasty and many times losing out in that. So let's say that's a challenge for you. So patience will be one of your words. And these words would show up in our world on a certain frequency. And I'll talk about how I do that in a moment. But when you think about and you consider the word patience, that word should evoke three questions. Again, the power of three. So patience, you're thinking about patience and you ask yourself, am I being patient right now? How can I be more patient? What's getting in the way of me being patient? right now. So each word would evoke three questions, three follow-up questions that would allow us and really command of us at that moment to think about that idea, that attribute, that quality that we say we want in our own life. So we have to think about those things. Now, we know that doing something like this every now and again is good, but if we do it on a frequency, a higher frequency, the probability of us actually acting upon that and embracing that idea, that concept, goes up tremendously. So the practice that we have is we select three words that evoke three questions, and we do this 3 times each day. Okay, you say, well, how do you do that? Well, I'll show you. Each of us are probably attached to a device like I am, an iPhone or an iPad or some other piece of technology that makes our life so much easier, quote unquote, right? But each of these devices also have a mechanism that we can set up as an alarm or a reminder. So what I do personally is at 10 a.m., my 3 words pop up. At 2 p.m., those same 3 words pop up again. And again at 6 p.m., those same 3 words pop up again. And each time those words pop up, I look at those words and I ask myself those 3 questions that we just covered. I ask myself, am I being this? Can I be more of this? What's getting in my way of this? What's getting in my way? Psychology and self-improvement suggests that in order to really move the needle and make some change in our lives, we have to give constant attention to the area that we want to improve. So we have to be asking ourselves these questions. We have to be very, very cognizant, very present when it comes to these issues, these attributes, these qualities that we want to show and to demonstrate in our own personal lives, or that we want to make some improvement on. So you ask yourself the question. Psychology also says that it takes time for us to develop these habits. It takes time. And it said generally the minimum baseline period of time that it takes to develop a new habit is 21 days, which ironically is 3 weeks. So you can see the trend that is coming. I picked 3 words. They show up 3 times a day, each of the words evoking 3 questions. And I do this over the course of 3 weeks or 21 days. The repetition that happens over and over again at a certain frequency of the day, almost like dosages of medicine, or in this case, let's call them multivitamins, right? There's dosages that come in each and every day over the course of time. They begin to be organically become part of our psychology, part of our character, part of who we are. And they are not just something that is imposed upon us, but they become a part of us. So we look at these ideas, the power of 3, and how we can affect some change. And my challenge to you today is to pick 3 words. How do you want to show up in the world? Ask yourself those 3 questions, to follow up with those. Set them up on a frequency. I do 3 times a day. I'm suggesting you do at least 3, but 3 would be the baseline that I would do. 3 simple times a day, separate times a day, that I would have these to message me, to show up as a reminder, to show up on my device, and I would ask myself that question, and I would commit to that for a 3-week period of time. I'm suggesting to you that if you did this with the diligence and the consistency that we've been able to do this over time, you will see some monumental change in how conscious you are about what you say you want to be, and how that consciousness leads to self-improvement. Please accept the challenge. Give us some feedback as you go about this. I'd love to hear from you to let me know, is it working, is it not working, what's some things you discovered about yourself, etc. All of this helps our work, and we are tremendously grateful for you to follow us and to join this challenge with us. Again, thank you. As always, do your best, show up your best, and be great.